And all of this could be concluded in months. But you know that's not what they are doing. The intention is to keep him or possibly even kill him. And they want everything they accuse him of to be believed by you. Meanwhile, they are in court. Court is where you can present all of that, all those incriminating evidence and to jail this person. But they don't have that. The second one is that if they cannot try him, if they cannot do that, then they should let him go. Those are the two options, whether you like him or not. Even if you want him convicted, killed, they are in court, Abi. So the right thing is what? Not to play these delay tactics, delay, adjournment, and all this nonsense, which is deliberate. That's what people are asking for. If you can't do that, then let him go. The same criminals are negotiating with the real terrorists who are wielding different weapons, terrorists who are actually killing people every day, sending people out of their communities, which you are seeing the videos every day. They are comfortable showing them on TV, on NTA. NTA Nigeria will be showing the peace meeting of terrorists with their weapons and their bikes and all of that. This is that Nigeria. So October 20, 2025, there could be something huge, massive, never seen before that will hit Abuja. And you are likely going to see, again, the never seen before kind of securities that will be pulled out that day, because it seems to have begun already, just so you know. And Sowore, the reason for that is this, which he once said, by the way, show.
Well, what you must know is that Nnamdi Kanu is being held hostage on behalf of the famed unity of Nigeria. That's what it's all about. It's as simple as that. If you mention his name in certain circles, they don't want to hear it because they feel like he threatens the real estate called Nigeria. And his Igbo makes it worse because Nigeria's DNA hates the Igbo for attempting, in the 60s and, towards the end of the 70s, to leave a country they said is no longer favorable to their existence. But I keep saying, and I will repeat here again, is there any Nigerian out there in their majority who has not mentally seceded from Nigeria? Not many. That's why people are living in droves. Each time you get on a plane leaving this country is full, each time it's coming back, probably full too, but it is those who are coming back to pack their things that are coming back. That's the way I describe it. But the truth is that Nnamdi Kanu has been held hostage. He was abducted from Kenya, extraordinary rendition. The fact that he's kidnapped from Kenya could not be explained shows that any judicial pronouncement or processes after that is null and void. You cannot go and kidnap somebody and bring them before a court. And the courts have made it very clear, even up to the Supreme Court, that he did not jump bail. It was the military that went to his house to kill people, and then he escaped. And now you have brought him back, you ought to respect and restore his bail. That's what I told his lawyers. Why are you applying for bail again? Because the Supreme Court made all the pronouncements except releasing him. And I think it was because they were afraid. And that's why I say he's a hostage to this country. And like you rightly said, there are other people who have made even more egregious pronouncements and fought and carried arms in this country. And you have not treated them the same way because they're not Nnamdi Kanu's, their name don't sound East. And I'm not here to fetish being able. But the reality is that they are not treated fairly. And Nnamdi Kanu is part of the reason why that is clear to everybody.
Right.
And by the way, I must also reveal here that there are some Igbo elites who are behind this. Whenever there's a crime of conspiracy against freedom fighters, there are people inside and outside who are working together. Well,
absolutely. And here is one of them, a very known face, Devil Umahi.
If anybody is telling you about Biafra, first and foremost, I've been saying it, Chief Elechi said it, Ebonyi State will never be part of Biafra. We are not Biafra. We've been so oppressed, and now we are finding our feet, and you want us to go back. We will not. We are begging for anybody.
So the valid argument of an average Biafran of being excluded from this project like Nigeria, right, is being invalidated by these selfish, self-centered criminal politicians. And that's why I told you that if you are so enraged, as much as you probably have this personal, whatever enragement in you as an Igbo person against the Hausa Fulani, as you have been made to probably see it that way, right? The real enemy of Biafra are the Igbo politicians. They are the ones who feel so intimidated about this Biafran struggle because they are not the ones leading it. It is like that of Etifnumbu in Yoruba land. The only time you are going to see them talk passionately about Yoruba is when they want to use it to push a political agenda for their own interest. The moment they get what they want, Yoruba is not that much. You know, we are now, everybody is the same. Similarly with that, the Igbo politicians, if they complain about marginalization, oh, the Igbos this, the Igbos that, it's because they want to use it to negotiate for something that is meant for them, not for the Igbo people. After that, no, we are Nigerian. We are all of us, we are united. We are fine. But when they don't get what they want, they will play the card and push it. So to them, Nnamdi Kanu, controlling that massive movement in Igbo land and outside Igbo land was a total red flag. So they unleashed everything they have on him, including proscribing IPOB. I don't know if some of you remember that it was the Igbo governors that first proscribed IPOB before Bokwari did. Yeah, they were the ones who is this Devuluma. They read the whole thing. They said federal government should come because IPOB is now proscribed in Igbo land. So it was after that that Bokwari proscribed IPOB and then sent the soldiers, the military down to the east. Everyone they had any form of political misunderstandings with the communities, they have this political misunderstanding and all of that. They will send their military there and said they are the IPOB base. That place is IPOB base. But do you understand what IPOB was back then? It was that massive that they were having, what do you call it, communal meetings. Like you always have this, your political meetings every Sunday in Nigeria or every week in Nigeria. They will meet, discuss issues concerning their Umuna, did I pronounce that right? Which is their kindred and all of that. The one that concerns the entire country of their Biafra and all that, right? They will discuss this peacefully. Everybody will make suggestions. They will make contributions. They will do things in a way that communities should. All over the eastern part of Nigeria, what they didn't have there was political flags that they would want them to have. Well, some of you wanted them to have. So the Igbo politicians wielded everything in them to get Nnamdi Kanu killed, and possibly anything that has to do with Biafra. So that's why I continue to call that guy Devulumai. And guess what? This is what they wanted to kill, and still trying. That's what they have been trying to kill. I know a lot of you have your own impression, which is a media-fueled impression. But it's something you should know that when the name Nnamdi Kanu is sort of like pronounced, there are millions for real who religiously believed him. When Nnamdi Kanu started the Biafra radio, teaching, speaking, teaching and all that, initially they thought, those in government, they actually thought probably was just another ranter on social media or just on this random guerrilla radio. Then it became a thing until when they realized that the number of the millions of people that his voice commands, and when people started talking about him, what they are willing to do, what they are, how far they were willing and ready to go on his command. But it was this, he's a very smart guy. As others were saying they are ready to, there was never a time, right, that he incited them to go after anybody. Rather, when he had the opportunity of meeting these criminal politicians, categorically presented an 11-point demand. 11-point demand that has nothing to do with him, but everything to do with Igbo land. Something that ordinarily should have been the priority of these criminal politicians. Rather, they conspired. He told them, put together your own security. It's going to get bad. These Fulani terrorists are going to come around. Their leaders who will be in power, they are going to do everything to protect them. You will watch your people killed, displaced by this Janjaweed. That's what he loves to call them. Janjaweed. The Fulani Janjaweed. They heard all of that. God knows what was going on in their mind. They said, yes, we're going to do it. Yeah, we're going to work on it. And then this agitation for Biafra thing will now probably like reduce so that Nigeria can see that the leaders of the Eastern Nigeria, they are solving the problem. Rather than do that, they conspire to get him killed. You know the story. They conspire to get him killed. They suggested the Eastern Security Network to them. They tore the paper and they went on to start what they call the Ebubeagu. And they've created other different militia groups in the eastern part of Nigeria right now in the name of trying to combat insecurity. The region is militarized from the days of Bokwari, because that was what these criminal politicians wanted, your governors. Let him go and watch all, Nnamdi Kanu, by his own truth, he will first expose the criminals that the politicians are sponsoring in the eastern part of Nigeria in few days. Then after that, he will declare his own war on them, because it's more or less like he knows how much damages these rogues have been used to cause against the, struggle. So politicians will want him out. Politicians that are negotiating with a terrorist, right? And you, the Amugus, who have a way of thinking that anyone that you possibly think you have no similar political ideology with disturbs wherever comes their way. And what you don't understand is that when they take this one out, take that one out, right? They are actually neutralizing the rest of you. Because by the time it is your turn, you may not even have that majority anymore. Things are getting to that stage in Nigeria right now with these criminals and their state capture tendency, right? It's more or less like whatever you are experiencing in their hands right now, it is just probably like a preamble, so to say. So criminals who are negotiating with the terrorists are telling you that with their trumped up charges and the rest, releasing Nnamdi Kanu is going to affect you. The question is how? Anyway, Falano had this to say on the same issue.
Imagine Nnamdi Kanu was in court today.
Was what?
Was in court today. So we really want to know what's your position?
His case is pending in court.
Yes.
I cannot comment on pending proceedings. I cannot comment on pending proceedings. You understand me? Because like you said, the case was in court today. All I can do for me is that is a matter that should be sorted out outside the courtroom. For me, it's a political case. Yeah, and if you have a situation where some governments are negotiating with bandits or the criminal elements, I mean, there can be no basis for not having that matter resolved politically. I decided to pay a courtesy call on the governor of Abia State, Dr. Alex Oti, who actually used to be my comrade. We maintain a relationship, and it wouldn't be proper if I didn't inform His Excellency that I'm in his state. As they say in my place, you don't pass through the Oba's palace without without paying your obeisance. You know, I just came to let the governor know I'm down, and then we had cause to discuss a couple of things. Well, I've been coming here since the inauguration of the civilian government since 1999. And I can say without any fear of contradiction that I've seen signs of governance, which was not there before. I've seen evidence of physical development. I've also spoken to people. It's not enough to go around and see physical development without finding out from the people how they are faring. And I've had very positive comments from the people. And so part of my discussion with His Excellency is how to intensify his efforts and ensure that the people remain the center of the administration. The people must benefit from dividends of democracy. And that is the best measurement. I've gone around, I've seen gurus, seen good schools, hospitals. And I am very confident that the governor can do much more than he has done. And he owes some of us a duty, right, to ensure that it does not disappoint the people. Some of us will not spare him if he does disappoint the people. Yep.
Nnamdi Kanu was in court today.
Was what?
Was in court today. So we really want to know what's your position?
His case is pending in court.
Yes.
I cannot comment on pending proceedings. I cannot comment on pending proceedings. You understand me? Because like you said, the case was in court today. All I can do for me is that is a matter that should be sorted out outside the courtroom. For me, it's a political case. Yeah, and if you have a situation where some governments are negotiating with bandits or the criminal elements, I mean, there can be no basis for not having that matter resolved politically.
Because it's obviously political. And at the same time, it also carried an unfinished sort of like a business for those who saw an opportunity to wipe off the Igbos from Nigeria map, the likes of Bukwari. When they said the war was over, no winner, no vanquish, the likes of Bukwari probably felt so disappointed Because when he became your president again,